Just take another moment. Good evening, everybody. This is Rabbi Karen, and I thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening for our Ma'ariv service. Welcome to everybody. We're on Zoom. We're on Facebook, UJUC, Rabbi Stephen Blaine page, JSLI, and Shalom online synagogue page. So we're on all these pages. We are on YouTube and we're on simshalom.com. So welcome everybody. So glad you could be with us as we get ready to begin our Ma'ariv service. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. And now our call to praise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach li'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai to my praise Adonai to my praises due forever. Praise be Adonai to praises due now and forever. Hama'ariv aravim. When we think of Adonai's separating light from dark and dark from light, we think of the actual miracle that we see, the beautiful colors, the sky, the lights, the darkness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitmuna meshane etim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et kochavim b'mishmoroteiim barakia kirtzono. With wisdom you open gateways, with understanding you alter times, vary the seasons and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mibnei hoshek b'hoshek mibnei or, umavir yom u'mevi layla, umavdil ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. El chai v'kayom tamid yimloch aleinu li'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who brings on twilight. Everlasting love you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, you will meditate on your law. We will meditate on your laws forever, and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise be to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, see if we have anybody on our Restream chat. Okay, Albert, good evening. So glad you can join us tonight. I hope you're doing well. Sephora just joined us in our Zoom chat. So we have Ellen, Toby, Ellen, Sue, Rudolph, Reba, Al, Marvin, and Sephora. So welcome everybody to our Zoom for Tuesday evening. I go back to the Restream and it's still Albert. So yes, we're glad that everybody is here and hoping everybody is well and staying out of the heat and the floods and the thunderstorms, because they seem to be all over the place. Okay, let's go back to our sharing. And now the prayer that states who we are, states our creed to the world. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto le'olam va'ed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. And you shall love. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you rise up, and when you lie down. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. And you may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy, holy unto your God. And speaking of miracles, as Miriam and the women went through the parting of the Red Sea, they sang this song in praise of Adonai. Mi chamocha balim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo tosef eleh. Who is like you, O God, amongst the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried out. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Eternal One, our God, cause us to lie down in peace and to raise us up to life, our sovereign. Spread us over your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us for your name's sake. Shield us and remove from our path all hostility, disease, war, famine, and sorrow. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you are a protecting and saving power, truly a sovereign power. Gracious and compassionate are you. Guard our going and our coming in life, and in peace now and for all eternity. Spread us over your shelter of peace. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who spread your shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba b'yamadira chirute v'yamlich mahute b'chayechon uv'yo omechon uv'chayedecha beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yesh mei rabba mevorach Le'olam le'ol maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yabar v'yiroman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalam shmei kudusha b'richu le'lam b'kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata. Now I lost my place. I'm sorry. Sometimes you just know it by heart, and then you look at the words and you go, where am I? And that's exactly, I knew exactly what to say, but I just suddenly lost my place. We're going to skip this tonight. We're now going to go talk about our Devar. Let's see who's on Restream. We still have Albert with us. Tonight's portion is called Parsha Devarim, the first Torah portion of Deuteronomy. This Torah portion is named Devarim, meaning words. Why words? Because these are the final 5 weeks of Moses' life, and he recants the past 40 years of Exodus. And by the way, this also means that this is the final book in the Torah. Welcome, Andy. I'm glad you could join us. Moses recalls the construction of the hierarchy of the judges, which he would preside, hear cases, and then decide those cases. Sort of like what we have. You don't just run to the Supreme Court, but you go up like this. And that's what Moses and his father-in-law helped create, because Moses was overwhelmed by hearing everything. So they created the hierarchy which is what we have in effect today. Another incident he recants is when the scouts went out and delivered a frightening report that they would not be able to conquer the land. But God was not pleased and chose to punish the children of Israel, barring them from entering the Holy Land. They were forced to turn and head back to the desert. As the new generation is ready to enter the land, they are forbidden from entering the land of Seir, Moab, and Ammon, for they are the children of Esau and Lot, and this is the land that was promised to them. Rather, they circled these lands and requested passage through the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites. Upon refusal, a battle ensued, and the Israelites won. Another tribe attacked, same fate, and those lands were given to 2.5 tribes of the Hebrews. Moses repeats that before going to their own lands, they will enter Canaan together as one. They will fight together as one, or maybe as mishpocha. And then they will go to their given land, some having left Jordan, crossing the Jordan River to fight, and then going back over the Jordan to the lands that was promised to them, plus in the land of Canaan. So we are going to have 5 weeks of Moses repeating these stories. You can all unmute yourselves. Why does Moses repeat these stories? This is the beginning of the repetition. He's got 40 years to repeat. Why does he do that?
Doesn't he want, since it's not everybody was there at the beginning, so that
because he's getting a new generation, okay.
Yes, so that he wanted them to hear all the stories, so that it would have them at least hear it and perhaps remember some of it as they go, because he's going to leave. He's not going to be there after the 5 weeks.
Hear the stories, repeat the stories, and continue to teach the stories. Right? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
We have an iPhone coming into the room. Let's see who this is. All right. Anyone else?
I think it's kind of like a loose way of saying
Shalom.
it's a parent letting their kids go off they're going to be off on their own, and he's wanting to make sure that they have everything they need to go.
Okay. That sounds good so far. Anyone else? How about learning the lessons from these stories?
Good, yeah.
How that goes. Yeah. I included.
Think about this. Don't we read the Torah every year? Over and over and over and over. Okay, so let's continue on. What is so important about words? The name of this Torah portion is Devarim, words. This is the beginning where Moses is using his words to do what?
Well, isn't it also the laws and all those that they need to follow, especially when they go into Canaan and the promised land? They at least have to hear it a few more times.
Well, okay, number one, they haven't gotten to those words yet. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. But remember, it's also written down. It's written in the 5 books.
But did they have the 5 books at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you remember Charlton Heston putting them in the ark? He had the actual
In the ark.
Yeah.
Could
And
everybody read?
No, that is why, okay? I have been told that's why we read Torah on Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat. Monday and Thursday were the market days. That's when you had people in the market, and that's when they would read. Somebody would read aloud, and you would have a gathering of the people to learn the laws. Not just the laws, but the history. Okay, so that's when they would repeat it. And to this day, we still do our services and Torah readings on Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat. Moses will give many speeches in the final book of Deuteronomy. Again, we're going to have 5 weeks of this. What's the value of the speeches?
From what I have read, some of it is all not it's all repetition. Some are his words, Moses' words.
Mm-hmm.
Some are Hashem says certain parts. Hashem says, "Okay, this is really very important. I'm going to put it in." And he makes it more powerful because he incorporates it into his speaking.
I think you're absolutely right. Passing on his interpretation and direct quotes from Hashem. But think about a parent. Okay, he's raised this children of Israel for 38 years. Now, we usually don't cut the cords from our own kids at 38 years old. But think of when you do, and don't forget this, and remember that, and don't forget to call me, and da 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 da. Think of that when they're 18, they go off to college. And Moses is just going to constantly do it because he knows he's not going to be with them. Somebody brought that up. He knows he's not going to be there. So he's giving them the final many warnings. Sephora, you raise your hand? I don't see
Yeah,
Sephora.
I just sorry, I just got back from heating
There
up.
you are.
But you know, in some cultures, families are like that. They really, take care of their kids. And I know with my grandpa, he took care of me until I was in college, and he really looked after me, and he really cared about who I was dating, who I was around. And there was a guy that I was dating last year, and he was Jewish, and his mom, he had to get his mom's permission to date me, and I thought that was a little weird because he's 35, but some cultures are like that.
Yeah.
And
Except
that's what I walked in on, and
except that Moses knew at this point, this is his final farewell to them. He knows they're going into the land of Canaan or the land of Israel, and he's not. He knows he's going to die on that mountain. So he's, like you said, he's being protective. He's being fatherly, but he's also being fatherly knowing that it's going to end soon. Like somebody said, Albert said, he's trying to drill it into their heads to stop making the same mistakes over and over, so Hashem will bless them. Well, remember, Moses is not reading their mistakes. This is the new generation. So he's reading off the mistakes that the past generation made, so it doesn't get repeated. So, yeah. So, how many times I say to my kid, and what did you learn from that? Even though he's 38 years old. Because sometimes they all need a little repeat, a little slap upside their head. And Moses is giving them, with a lot of words, the slap upside their head. Okay, so this is the beginning of what we're going to see. And we're going to recant the entire trip. Barbara, welcome. I'm glad you're with us this evening also. Okay, let's go back. Let's take a few minutes to listen to the prayers in our hearts and in our minds. Ose shalom bimruma. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'ako Yisrael. V'imru. Imru, Amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and all Israel, and let us say, Amen. And now our prayer for healing. So as you all begin typing in the names of those who need our healing thoughts and prayers, I'm going to start with Sid and Joyce, Katie, Boomer, and Luna, Chris, Robin, Lisa's daughter, Ronnie, Seal's daughter, Rabbi Allison's daughter, Miriam Bat Shulamit, Carrie, daughter of Bonnie, Leslie, Mindy, Mindalea Bat Chaya, Maxine, Marcia, Marlene Bat Sylvia, Bobby, George, Stu, David, Cantor Ovadia, Samantha, Judy and Steve, and to our friend Toby, who was not well, doing well last week. Okay, is there anybody else? Let me get the names here. Those suffering physically and emotionally and spiritually around the world. Ellen Friedman, Erica, L&D, and other cancer patients. Granny Franny, all suffer from PTSD. All seem shalomers who need refuah shlema. Nobody on Restream. Roland, I'm glad you can join us. Toby and Deb. Marvin, you want to unmute and give us the names?
Myself, my brother, Dawn Allnut, Christina Allnut, Nelson Raspaldo.
Okay. Let's see. Dorothy, Marlene, Bill, Robert, Jean, David, Jimmy, Andy, Sephora, Ellen Friedman, Al and Tracy, Granny Franny, Mike in the hospital. His wife is divorcing him. Let me see. Roland, Ben, Margaret, Valerie, Erin, Maddie, Trey, Malcolm, Rose, Mayo, Larry, Albert, and all our loving pets. Kurt, Ben, Norma, Andrea, Bob, Marcia, Georgette. Okay. So we're good. Everybody gave us the Mishabera. Let's go back. Mishabera avotenu v'chol habraha imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu v'chol habraha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot hadama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, v'goralenu kehol hamanam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'eman, V'aya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'oretz, Bayom ha'hu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shmo echad. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in the season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise Adonai and pray for the coming of Adonai's kingdom. Yit gadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayeho dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav azman kari v'yimru amen. Yehesh me rabbah mevorach li'olam al mei amaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yabar v'yiraman v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal. Shemei gudusha b'richu. Le'elam micho b'chata v'shirata. Tushvachata v'nechamata. Damiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehesh lama rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav. Uya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. And may all those who are in mourning be comforted by the one who comforts all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for being with me this evening. It is good to see you all. Some of you with your summer tans. Looks very good. And basically, can you hang on one second? Let me just answer someone. Okay, so basically, again, ready for the high holidays. I know you can buy tickets for Rabbi Stephen Blaine's Zoom. So I'm going to be doing that myself very soon. And you know what, as much as I love going to synagogue, I also love being in front of my computer. I project it to my TV and I watch services from my TV. So it's really nice. And, we have our upcoming classes, Rabbinic Cantorial, our JSLI program. If all those wanted to be on it, please contact Carol Blaine. So if you're interested, and all the people on Restream who's out there, Sharon, let's see, Andy, Barbara, Roland, and Albert, welcome again, and thank you for being with us. Everyone, stay cool, stay safe, stay hydrated, stay out of the sun, watch out for the smoke, watch out for the Sahara dust, whatever we got out in that atmosphere. Just be safe, everyone. Be cool, and we'll talk soon. Toby, I'm getting a phone call. I'll text you when I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
תודה רבה.